June opened his eyes to bright white lights. His head hurt. He blinked several times, trying to understand where he was. The room around him was clean and white. It looked like a hospital, but something felt wrong. "He is awake," said a voice. June turned his head. A tall figure stood by his bed. Its skin was silvery and smooth. It had 2 arms and 2 legs like a human, but it was much taller. Its face had 2 large purple eyes that blinked sideways instead of up and down. "Who are you?" June asked. His voice was rough, like he hadn't used it in a long time. "Where am I?" The silver being moved closer. "I am Director Mock. You are on Space Station 7. We found you floating in space. Your ship was attacked. You were hurt badly." June tried to sit up, but his body felt weak. "My ship? I don't remember any ship." Director Mock nodded. "That is normal. Your brain was damaged. We fixed your body, but your memories could not be saved. I am sorry." June closed, his eyes trying to remember anything. His name was June. He knew that much, but everything else was blank. No family. No home, no past. "What are you?" June asked. "We are the Durrani. We are friends to humans. We have been helping your people for many years." A door slid open, and another figure walked in. This one looked human. She was a woman with short black hair and dark eyes. "This is Nari," Director Mock said. "She will help you adjust to life here. She works with humans who live with us." Nari smiled at June. "Hello. I know this must be confusing for you, but you're safe here." "Are there other humans here?" June asked. Nari and Director Mock looked at each other quickly. "No," Mock said. "You are the only one right now. Your ship was attacked by the Krev Empire. They are our enemies. And yours too." June had so many questions, but he felt tired suddenly. His eyes started to close. "Rest now," Director Mock said. "We will talk more when you are stronger." Days passed. June got stronger. He could walk around his room, then around the medical area. The Durrani were always polite, but they watched him closely. Nari visited him every day. She brought him clothes and food. She showed him pictures of Earth and told him about human life. But when he asked about his past, she always said the same thing. "The doctors say it's better if you make new memories first." After 2 weeks, June was allowed to leave the medical area. Nari took him to his new living space. "These will be your quarters," she said, showing him a small but comfortable room. "You can access the common areas, the dining hall, and the observation deck. Your ID chip has limited access for now." June looked at the small silver disc on his wrist. The Durrani had told him it was for his safety so they could find him if he got lost on the huge station. That night, June had strange dreams. He was fighting, his hands moving quickly. He knew how to use weapons, he knew how to hurt others. In the dream, he was fighting creatures that looked like the Durrani. He woke up covered in sweat. It was just a dream, he told himself. But it had felt so real. 1 month after waking up, June noticed something strange. He was eating in the dining hall when an alarm sounded. It wasn't loud, just a small beeping noise. But immediately, his body tensed. His eyes scanned the room, looking for exits. His hand reached for a weapon that wasn't there. A Durrani walked by and noticed his reaction. "Is something wrong?" it asked. June forced himself to relax. "No, nothing's wrong." But he knew something was wrong. Why would his body react that way? To an alarm? Why did he automatically look for a weapon? More strange things happened. When a door jammed in the hallway, June knew exactly which panel to open to fix it. When he cut his hand on a sharp edge, he cleaned and bandaged it with perfect precision, like he had medical training. His body knew things his mind couldn't remember. "Have you noticed anything strange about the Durrani?" Nari asked one day. They were sitting in the observation deck looking at the stars. June was surprised by the question. "What do you mean?" Nari looked around to make sure they were alone. "The way they avoid certain topics, the way they watch you." "They saved my life," June said. but he had noticed the things she mentioned. Yes, Nari said. But why? Why save one human from a destroyed ship? Why bring you all the way here? Why not take you to a human colony? June had wondered the same things. Do you know something, Nari? She seemed about to say more, but then a Dorani entered the observation deck. Nari's face changed immediately. Just keep your eyes open, she whispered. That night, the dreams were worse. June was in a dark place. People were shouting. His hands moved with speed and skill. He was fighting, killing. He woke up with his heart racing. But this time when he woke up, his hands were still moving. They were making motions like they were taking apart and reassembling something. His fingers moved with perfect precision, even though his mind didn't know what they were doing. June got out of bed and went to his small bathroom. He splashed water on his face and looked in the mirror. Who am I? He asked his reflection. The next day he met a Dorani named Juan. Juan was smaller than the others and worked on the station's air systems. Mind if I watch? June asked as Juan fixed a vent in the hallway near his quarters. Not at all, Juan said. Most humans find this boring. I'm not most humans, June said. I'm the only one here, remember? Juan's purple eyes blinked sideways. Yes, the only one. Something in the way Juan said it made June suspicious. Have there been others before me? Juan focused on the vent. I should not say. Please, June said. I have no memories. I'm just trying to understand. Juan was quiet for a long time. Then he said, There have been others, but they are gone now. Gone where? June asked. I do not know. Juan closed the vent panel. Be careful what you ask, human. Some questions are dangerous here. As Juan walked away, June felt a chill. Something was very wrong on the station. The Dorani were hiding things from him, and somehow his body knew more than his mind did. That night as he lay in bed, June made a decision. He would find out the truth about who he was, and he would discover what the Dorani were really doing with him. His hands twitched in the darkness, remembering skills his mind had forgotten, skills that might prove very useful very soon. June began to watch the Dorani more carefully. He noticed how they would stop talking when he entered a room. He saw how Director Mock's purple eyes followed him whenever they were in the same area. Something was not right. 2 months had passed since he woke up on the station. June had created a routine. He would exercise in the morning, eat in the dining hall, and then walk around the station. The Dorani told him he was free to go anywhere his ID chip allowed. But many doors stayed locked to him. Juan had become June's only friend besides Nari. The Dorani technician did not talk much, but he let June help with small repair jobs. Why are you different from the other Dorani? June asked one day as they fixed a light panel. Juan's silver skin seemed to darken slightly. I am a lower caste. I was born to fix things, not to lead or study. The Dorani have castes? This was new information. Yes. Director Mock is from the highest caste, the Thinkers. I am from the worker caste. We do not mix often. June thought about this. Is that why you talk to me, because other Dorani do not talk to workers? Juan handed June a tool. Partly. Also, I am curious about humans. The Thinkers study you, but they do not try to know you. What do you mean they study humans? June's heart beat faster. I thought I was the only human here. Juan's purple eyes blinked rapidly. You are now. But there is a war, remember? The Dorani fight the Krev, and human space is between our territories. Both sides want humans as... He paused, searching for the right word. As friends. June was not sure he believed this. But before he could ask more questions, the light panel sparked. Without thinking, June's hands moved quickly. He reconnected 2 wires and adjusted a small chip. The panel stopped sparking and began to glow normally. Juan stared at him. How did you do that? June looked at his hands. He did not know. His body had just reacted. I guess I was good with electronics before. I lost my memory. That was not basic repair work, Juan said quietly. That was advanced tech knowledge. Only thinkers learn that. They finished the job in silence. As they packed up the tools, Juan said, "Be careful what skills you show, June. Some knowledge is dangerous here." That night, June couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about what had happened with the light panel. How did his hands know what to do? What else did his body remember that his mind did not? He got out of bed and looked at the small room. It was comfortable but simple. A bed, a table, a bathroom. No personal items, nothing from his past. June sat on the edge of the bed and closed his eyes. He tried to focus on the feeling he had when fixing the panel. His hands had moved without him thinking. Maybe if he just let his body remember. He stood up and moved to the center of the room. Without thinking, he began to move. His legs and arms flowed through what seemed like fighting positions. Kicks, punches, blocks. His body knew how to fight. And not just simple fighting. These were advanced moves. June stopped. His breathing was steady. He wasn't even tired. His body was in excellent condition, trained for combat. But why? Who had he been before waking up here? He needed answers, and he needed to be careful about how he found them. The next day, June found Juan working in a quiet part of the station. "I need to ask you something," June said, "and I need you to keep it secret." Juan looked nervous. "What is it?" "I need to access the station's information system, the archives. Can you help me?" Juan's purple eyes widened. "That is forbidden. Only thinkers can access the archives." "Please," June said. "I need to know more about myself, about humans, about why I'm really here." Juan was silent for a long time. Finally, he reached into his work clothes and pulled out a small card. "This is my access card. It will not open all doors, but it will let you into the lower archives. Take it tonight when most Durrani are resting. Return it tomorrow before the work cycle begins." June took the card. "Thank you." Juan turned back to his work. "I did not do this. If you are caught, I know nothing." Late that night, June slipped out of his room. The station was quiet. Most Durrani needed less sleep than humans, but they still had a rest cycle. The hallways were almost empty. June followed the path he had planned earlier. He had watched the Durrani for weeks, learning their patterns. He knew which hallways would be least used at this time. He found the archive entrance where Juan had told him it would be. A simple door with a card reader. June swiped Juan's card. The door opened with a soft hiss. Inside was a small room with several screens built into the walls. June went to the center screen and touched it. It lit up with strange symbols. Durrani, writing. June frowned. He couldn't read this. But then, without thinking, his fingers began to move across the screen. They knew which symbols to press. Somehow, his body remembered the Durrani language even if his mind did not. The screen changed to show files and images. June's fingers continued to move, searching for something specific. They opened a file called Human Acquisitions. June's heart pounded as he read. The Durrani had been taking humans for years, hundreds of them. They called it rescue operations, claiming they were saving humans from Krev attacks. But the truth was darker. They were studying humans, testing them, looking for something. He found another file called Neural Patterns. It showed brain scans of many humans. Notes beside the images talked about unique connections and adaptive pathways that Durrani scientists found fascinating. Then June found a file with his own image. It was labeled Project Mirror, Subject 7. Most of the file was locked, requiring higher access. But there was one sentence he could read. Subject demonstrates unprecedented neural resistance to standard memory protocols. They had tried to erase his memories on purpose. And something had gone wrong. June heard a noise in the hallway. He quickly closed the files and moved toward the door. But before he could leave, the door opened. Nari stood there. Her face was serious, not friendly like usual. "I know what you saw," she said quietly. "And there's something you need to know about who you really are." June tensed, ready to fight if needed. Are you going to turn me in? Nari shook her head. No, I've been waiting for you to start looking for answers. She glanced down the hallway. But we can't talk here. Follow me. June hesitated. Could he trust her? They lied to you, June, Nari said. They lied about everything. If you want to know the truth, come with me now. We don't have much time. June made his decision. He followed Nari into the darkness of the station, toward answers he wasn't sure he was ready to hear. Nari led June through narrow service tunnels that he didn't know existed. They moved quickly and quietly, avoiding the main hallways where Dorani might see them. Where are we going? June whispered. Somewhere safe, Nari said. Somewhere they don't monitor. After many turns, they reached a small door. Nari pressed her hand against it and it slid open. Inside was a tiny room with a table and 2 chairs. The walls were covered with a strange metal. Signal blocking material, Nari explained as she closed the door. They can't hear us in here. June looked around. How do you know about this place? Nari sat down at the table. Because I'm not just a human liaison like they told you. I'm part of the human resistance. Resistance? June sat across from her. Against the Dorani? Yes, and the Krev too. Both sides are using humans. Both sides are lying about why. June tried to process this. So everything they told me was a lie? I wasn't rescued? No. Nari's face was serious. You were captured. June, captured specifically, they wanted you. Why me? Who am I? Nari took a deep breath. Your full name is June Kim. You were Commander June Kim of Earth Special Forces, one of the best. You were part of a program called Sentinel. The name sent a shock through June's body. Sentinel. His hands tightened into fists automatically. What was Sentinel? He asked, though part of him already knew. A super soldier program. The best fighters were chosen. Then they were enhanced. Enhanced how? Neural enhancements, muscle memory programming, advanced combat training that goes so deep it becomes part of your basic responses. They didn't just teach you to fight, June. They rewired your body to make fighting as natural as breathing. June thought about how his hands had moved on their own, how his body knew things his mind didn't. That's why I can still fight even without my memories. Exactly, Nari nodded. The Dorani think memory is just in the brain, but the Sentinel program put it in your muscles, in your nerves, in your bones. They erased what was in your mind, but they couldn't erase what was in your body. June tried to remember anything about this program, about his past. There were only flashes, training rooms, other soldiers, pain during the enhancements. Why did they capture me? What do they want? Information, partly, but mostly they want to understand how the Sentinel program works. The Dorani are losing their war with the Krev. They need better soldiers, so I'm a lab rat. June felt anger growing inside him. Yes, but a lab rat they're afraid of. Nari leaned forward. Think about it. They're keeping you sedated at night. They limit where you can go. They watch you constantly. They're scared of what you might remember, of what your body can do even without your memories. How do you know all this? Why should I trust you? I was captured too a year ago. But I wasn't a soldier. I was a scientist working on the Sentinel program. I understood the neural pathways, how the muscle memory works. The Dorani kept me alive to help them understand it. But I've been feeding them false information, slowing them down. June studied her face, looking for lies. If you're resistance, why haven't you tried to escape before? I was waiting for the right moment. For you. You're not just any Sentinel, June. You were the best, the most successful integration of all the enhancements. That's why I had to wait for you to start remembering on your own. I needed to know how much of the real you was still in there. Before June could respond, a loud alarm started blaring throughout the station. Red lights flashed in the small room. What's that? June asked, standing up. Nari's face went pale. Attack alarm. The station is under attack. The Krev? Must be. She moved to the door. This is bad timing. The Durrani will be looking for both of us now. Why? Because Director Mock will want to secure his valuable test subjects. And if the station is at risk of being captured. She didn't finish the sentence. He'll kill us rather than let the Krev have us, June said, understanding. Nari nodded. We need to move, now. They opened the door and moved back into the service tunnels. The alarm was louder here. They could hear shouting and running feet above them in the main hallways. Where can we go? June asked. The hangar bay. If we can steal a ship, we might be able to escape during the chaos. As they moved through the tunnels, June noticed his body was responding differently. His movements were more precise. His senses seemed sharper. The danger had activated something in him. They reached a junction where the tunnel split in 3 directions. Nari hesitated. I think it's left. June shook his head. No. Right. He didn't know how he knew, but he was certain. They went right and soon reached a ladder leading up. June climbed first. At the top was a hatch. He pushed it open slightly and looked out. They were in a storage room near the medical area. It was empty. They climbed out and moved to the door. June pressed his ear against it, listening. 2 Durrani guards outside, he whispered. Armed. How do you know they're armed? Nari asked. I can hear the energy hum from their weapons. June was surprised at his own knowledge. Standard Durrani pulse rifles. Effective but slow to recharge between shots. Nari stared at him. Your combat memory is coming back faster than I expected. June felt it too. Knowledge was flowing into him, triggered by the danger. We need weapons. There's a security station 1 level down. We might find some there, just as they were about. To leave the storage room, the door slid open. A Durrani security officer stood there, weapon raised. Without thinking, June moved. His hand struck the weapon, pushing it up. His foot swept the Durrani's legs. As the alien fell, June caught the weapon and fired once. The pulse hit the Durrani in the chest. It collapsed, not moving. Nari stared at June. That was Sentinel training. June examined the weapon, checking its charge. His fingers moved like they had done this 1,000 times before. Let's go. They moved into the hallway. The alarm was still blaring. In the distance, they could hear weapons fire. The Krev were on board. This way. June took the lead. Moving. With confidence he didn't understand but didn't question. As they turned a corner, they came face to face with Director Mock. He was with 2 security officers. All had weapons pointed at June and Nari. Stop right there, Mock said. His purple eyes were cold. This has gone far enough. June raised his weapon, but he knew he couldn't take out all 3 before they fired. The station is under attack, Nari said. We need to evacuate. The station will be defended, Mock said. But you 2 have become a problem I need to solve first. Why? June asked. What am I to you? Mock's silver face showed no emotion. A valuable test subject, and a dangerous weapon that cannot be allowed to fall into Krev hands. He raised his weapon. I'm sorry, but this ends now. June prepared to dive for cover, his body already calculating the move. But before anyone could fire, an explosion rocked. The hallway, the ceiling collapsed between them and Mock. Run, Nari shouted. They turned and ran the other way. Behind them, they could hear Mock shouting orders. We need to get to the hangar bay, Nari said as they ran. It's our only chance. June nodded. But as they ran, more memories were coming back. Flashes of his training. His mission. Why he had been in Durrani space in the first place. He had been sent to find something. Something important. And he was beginning to remember what it was. June and Nari ran through the chaos of the station. Alarms blared. Red emergency lights flashed. Durrani rushed in all directions. Some were security forces heading to fight. Others were workers trying to find safety. This way, June said, pulling Nari down a side corridor. His body seemed to know the layout of the station better than his mind did. They turned a corner and found 3 Durrani security officers blocking their path. The Durrani raised their weapons. Stop or we will fire, one shouted. Time seemed to slow down for June. His vision sharpened. His mind calculated distances, angles, threats. Without conscious thought, his body moved. He pushed Nari against the wall for protection. Then he charged forward. The first Durrani fired, but June was already moving to the side. The energy pulse missed him by inches. Before the Durrani could fire again, June was upon him. One strike to the neck. The Durrani dropped. The second Durrani tried to aim, but June was too fast. He knocked the weapon away and delivered two quick blows to the Durrani's head. The alien fell unconscious. The third Durrani managed to fire. The pulse grazed June's arm, burning his skin. But he didn't stop. He didn't even feel the pain. He grabbed the Durrani's arm, twisted it, and flipped the alien over his shoulder. The Durrani hit the floor hard and didn't move. The entire fight took less than 10 seconds. Nari stared at June, her eyes wide. That was not normal. June looked at his hands. They weren't even shaking. Sentinel programming, he said. My body remembers. He collected the weapons from the fallen Durrani and handed one to Nari. Can you use this? She nodded. Basic training. Nothing like you. They continued toward the hangar bay. As they moved, more memories flashed through June's mind. Training sessions, combat drills, the pain of the neural enhancements, faces of other Sentinel soldiers. My team, he said suddenly. There were others like me. 6 of us. Yes, Nari said as they ran. You were Sentinel Team Alpha, the best of the best. What happened to them? Nari's face darkened. 3 died on previous missions, 2 were captured by the Krev. You were the last one active. They reached a large door marked with Durrani symbols. June recognized it as the entrance to the hangar bay. His knowledge of Durrani language was returning too. It's locked, Nari said, trying the control panel. June examined the panel. His fingers moved across it, entering a complex series of commands. The door slid open. How did you do that? Nari asked. Security override code. Standard on all Durrani military installations. June paused, surprised at his own knowledge. I was briefed on this before my mission. Your memories are coming back faster now. The combat situation is triggering them. They entered the hangar bay. It was massive, filled with Durrani ships of various sizes. Most were small fighters or transport vessels. At the far end was a larger ship, clearly the command vessel. We need something small and fast, June said. Something they won't immediately notice is missing. They moved toward a row of scout ships near the side wall. Suddenly, a door on the other side of the hangar opened. Juan ran in, looking terrified. Juan! Nari called out. The Durrani technician ran to them. The Krev have breached the central levels, he said, his voice shaking. They are killing everyone, thinkers, workers, everyone. Come with us, June said. We're taking a ship and escaping. Juan looked at the scout ships, then back at the door he had come through. Yes, I will come. The 3 of them moved to the nearest scout ship. June placed his hand on the entry panel, and to his surprise, the door opened. They never removed your access, Nari said. They didn't think you'd remember how to use it. They climbed inside. The ship was small but well equipped. 2 pilot seats in front, cargo space in back. June sat in the pilot seat and looked at the controls. His hands moved across them, activating systems, preparing for launch. You can fly this? Juan asked, amazed. Apparently, June said. He didn't question how he knew. He just let his body remember. The ship's engines hummed to life. Displays lit up, showing status reports in Durrani script that June could now read. Suddenly, the main hangar doors opened. A group of Krev soldiers entered, firing at the Durrani ships. The Krev were tall and bulky, with rough dark skin and 4 arms. Each arm held a different weapon. We need to go now, Nari said. June activated the ship's shields and weapons. He fired the thrusters, lifting the scout ship off the hangar floor. The Krev noticed and began firing at them. Hang on, June said. He pushed the thrusters to full power. The scout ship shot forward toward the hangar's outer doors. Those doors were still closed. The doors! Juan shouted. I see them. June fired the ship's forward weapons. Energy blasts hit the doors, creating a hole, not big enough for the ship but weakening the structure. Brace for impact, June warned. He aimed the ship directly at the damaged doors and increased power. The scout ship crashed through, metal screaming as it tore. Alarms blared in the cockpit. Warning lights flashed. Then they were through, out in the blackness of space. Behind them, the Durrani station was under heavy attack. Several Kree warships surrounded it, firing continuously. "The ship is damaged," Juan said, looking at the displays. "Outer hull breach in the cargo area. I can seal it, but we won't be able to go far." "We don't need to go far," June said. "Just far enough to lose any pursuit." He piloted the ship away from the battle, pushing its damaged engines as hard as he dared. More memories were coming back now. Star maps, navigation training, military, protocols. "Where are we going?" Nari asked. "There's a small moon in this system, no atmosphere but lots of caves and tunnels. Good place to hide and make repairs." As June flew, a new memory surfaced, clear and sharp, unlike the fragments before. He remembered a briefing room on Earth, military officers showing him maps of Durrani space. "My mission," he said quietly. "I remember my mission." "What was it?" Nari asked. "I was sent to investigate Durrani incursions into human space. Earth had detected unusual Durrani activity near our outer colonies. They sent me to find out why." "To gather intelligence on Durrani military capabilities." "And you were captured," Juan said. "Yes. My ship was attacked. But before that, I discovered something." June frowned, trying to bring the memory into focus. Something important about why the Durrani are so interested in humans. "What was it?" Nari leaned forward. Before June could answer, the ship shuddered. An alarm sounded. "We're being followed," Juan said, checking the sensors. "Durrani pursuit. Craft. 2 of them." June looked at the displays. The pursuits were gaining on them. Their damaged ship couldn't outrun them. "We have to fight," he said. He turned the scout ship around to face their pursuers. His hands moved across the weapons, controls with practiced ease. "Wait," Nari said, pointing at one of the displays. "Look who's leading the pursuit." The communication screen showed the face of their hunter. Director Mock stared back at them, his purple eyes cold with determination. "Surrender the ship," Mock's voice came through the speakers. "You cannot escape." June's hands tightened on the controls. More memories flooded his mind. Combat training, space battle tactics, the weaknesses of Durrani ships. "Watch me," he said, and pushed the scout ship forward, directly at their pursuers. June pushed the damaged scout ship directly toward the 2 Durrani pursuit craft. Director Mock's face showed surprise on the communication screen. "What is he doing?" Juan asked, gripping his seat tightly. "Playing chicken," Nari said. "But Durrani, don't play that game." She was right. The Durrani ships held their course, expecting June to turn away. He didn't. At the last possible moment, June flipped the scout ship in a tight roll, barely missing the Durrani vessels. As he passed, he fired, the ship's weapons at the closest points on their hulls. One Durrani ship spun out of control, its engine damaged. The other Mock's ship turned to follow. "That won't stop them for long," June said. "We need somewhere to hide." He steered toward the small moon he had mentioned. It was gray and cratered, with no atmosphere, but its surface was riddled with deep tunnels and caves, perfect for hiding. As they approached, June's memories continued to return. His original mission, his capture, the experiments the Durrani had performed on him, and most importantly, what he had discovered before being captured. "I remember now," he said as he guided the ship toward a large crater. "I know why the Durrani and the Krev want humans so badly." "Why?" Nari asked. "Our brains. Human brains can make connections that their alien minds can't. We can see patterns they miss. We can make intuitive leaps they can't understand." "That is true," Juan said. "Durrani think in very straight lines. Very logical. We cannot make the jumps that human minds do. But it's more than that," June continued. Both the Durrani and the Krev use neural interfaces to control their advanced weapons. Their ships, their targeting systems, all controlled directly by their minds. But human brains are more adaptable, more flexible. We can interface with their systems better than they can. So they've been capturing humans to use as weapons? Nari sounded disgusted. Exactly. And the Sentinel program was based on stolen Durrani technology. Earth scientists took their neural interface and modified it, made it better. That's why Director Mach wants me so badly. I'm not just any human. I'm a human enhanced with their own technology improved. June landed the ship in a deep crater. The walls of the crater hid them from sensors. We need to repair the ship, Juan said. The hull breach is bad. How long will it take? June asked. Hours. Maybe a day. June checked the sensors. Mach's ship is still searching for us. We don't have hours. He thought for a moment, letting his tactical training guide him. I need to get to Mach's communication system. If I can send a message to Earth, warn them about what the Durrani are doing. That's suicide, Nari said. You can't go after Mach alone. June looked at her. I'm not alone. I have the Sentinel programming. And now I remember how to use it. He started gathering weapons and supplies from the scout ship. What's your plan? Nari asked. Mach will land soon to search for us. When he does, I'll take his ship. Let me come with you, Nari said. June shook his head. Stay with Juan. Repair our ship. If I don't come back in 6 hours, leave without me. Head for human space. Nari looked like she wanted to argue, but she nodded. Be careful. Careful isn't what they made me for. June checked his weapon and headed for the ship's exit. Outside, the moon's surface was gray dust and rocks. June moved quickly, but carefully, using the terrain for cover. His sentinel training made him silent and nearly invisible as he moved. He found a high point and watched. Soon he saw Mach's ship landing about 2 kilometers away. 4 Durrani, including Mach, exited the ship and began searching the area. June circled around, staying out of sight. He approached the ship from behind, using the crater walls for cover. There was 1 guard left at the ship. June took him out, silently, dragging the unconscious Durrani behind a rock. Inside the ship, June moved directly to the communication system. His hands flew over the controls, bypassing security. He recorded a message to Earth Command, explaining everything he had learned about the Durrani plans, the experiments on humans, and the weakness he had discovered in their neural interfaces. Human minds can disrupt their systems, he said into the recorder. Our thought patterns are too chaotic, too non-linear for their technology. That's why they keep failing in their experiments, and that's how we can defeat them. He set the message to transmit on all Earth military frequencies. As it sent, he heard footsteps outside the ship. Mach had returned. June moved to hide, but it was too late. The door opened and Director Mach entered, weapon raised. I knew you would try something like this, Mach said. Your kind always does the unexpected. That's our strength, June replied. And your weakness. Mach's purple eyes narrowed. You've remembered who you are. Yes, and what you tried to do to me. The Sentinel program is based on our technology, Mach said. Stolen and modified. You're using our own weapons against us. We made them better, June said, just like we always do. Mach fired his weapon, but June was already moving. He dodged the energy pulse and closed the distance between them. Mach was fast, but June was faster. His sentinel-enhanced body moved with perfect precision. They fought hand to hand. Mach was strong, but June's body knew exactly how to counter every move. He could predict what Mach would do before Mach did it. Finally, June landed a decisive blow. Mach fell to the floor, unable to stand. You can't win, Mach said, breathing hard. The Durrani are already moving against Earth, and if we don't take your world, the Krev will. We'll be ready for both of you now, June said, thanks to what I've learned. He tied up Mach and the other Durrani, then took control of their ship. He flew back to where Nari and Juan were repairing the scout ship. We need to go, he told them as they came aboard. I've sent a message to Earth, but we need to deliver the full intelligence in person. They left the moon, setting course for human space. As they flew, June explained everything to Nari and Juan. The Durrani and the Krev both want to use humans as neural interfaces for their weapons, he said. But they don't understand our minds. They can't predict how we think. That's why their experiments keep failing. And that's why they couldn't fully erase your Sentinel programming, Nari added. It was too deeply integrated with your natural thought patterns. Exactly. They erased my memories, but they forgot one lethal thing: human unpredictability. The very thing they were trying to harness is what they couldn't control. Juan looked thoughtful. What will happen to me? I cannot go back to the Durrani now. You'll come with us, June said. Earth will want to know everything you can tell them about Durrani technology. As their ship approached the borders of human space, they detected Earth defense vessels moving to intercept them. They got my message, June said with satisfaction. He opened a communication channel to the Earth ships. This is Commander June Kim, Sentinel Program, returning from deep cover mission in Durrani space. I have critical intelligence and 2 refugees requesting asylum. The response came quickly. Commander Kim, you were listed as missing in action 3 months ago. Welcome home, sir. June looked at Nari and smiled. Home, he said. The word felt right, even though he still couldn't remember what Earth looked like. But he would soon. As their ship was escorted toward Earth, June thought about the war that was coming. The Durrani and the Krev would not give up easily, but now Earth knew their weakness, and Earth had something neither alien race truly understood: the unpredictable, adaptive, creative human mind. They had tried to erase who he was, but they had forgotten that being human meant more than memories. It meant the ability to adapt, to overcome, to find new ways forward even when all seemed lost. That was the lethal thing they had forgotten, and it would be their downfall.